Next gen is finally upon us, guys. If this mic audio is absolutely horrible, you'll have to excuse it because I'm using my Dolby Atmos headset, which, by the way, sounds awesome with the 3D audio enabled on the PS5. I picked up the Series X the other day. I haven't got around to making a video on that, but that one is coming next. The reason that I decided to do this one first is because the PS5 most definitely has impressed me the most. Now, for all my Xbox guys, that's not saying that I'm not impressed with the Series X, because let me tell you right now, I absolutely am. I'm currently playing through the story on Valhalla. I just did this little Spider-Man gameplay here just to get some footage for this video. I'm actually not going to play it until I beat Valhalla, so it may be a while and it's going to be tough because, as you can see, it looks absolutely awesome. But I'm extremely impressed with the Series X nonetheless. But here's the thing, guys. It's one of those things where I feel like Microsoft may have dropped the ball in one certain area. Obviously, they've got the power advantage. So as far as multi-plat games, they're going to look better on the Series X. We've already saw a situation where Devil May Cry, the definitive edition or whatever they're calling it, ran better on the PS5 for whatever reason in certain modes. So they're going to run better, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're going to run that much better to the point where you're just going to be blown away by the visual difference. That's not going to happen. It's going to be one of those things where Digital Foundry has to be showing you the differences in these multi-platform games. I hope that Microsoft can come correct with multi-platform, or excuse me, first-party games, because I already know Sony is. As you can see right here, this Miles Morales is just, it's absolutely awesome. And this is the performance mode. Clearly, I'm not going to play it on 30 frames per second mode. I will take a look at it on 30 frames per second mode just to see the ray tracing and see the graphical differences. But 60 frames all day, this game feels absolutely amazing. So, the PS5, my initial impressions from messing with it all day, I picked up 2K, I picked up Spider-Man. Obviously, it comes preloaded with Astro World, I believe it's called. We'll get to that in a second. And then I pre-ordered Call of Duty Black Ops, and I'm probably going to end up picking up Godfall. So, and then obviously Demon Souls later. But anyway, the UI of the PS5 feels next gen. It really does. To me, the UI looks better, it looks cleaner. Both UIs are extremely snappy, extremely responsive, and I love to see that out of these new systems. If you guys remember, even with the Pro and the One X, those consoles just struggled to get you through the UI. There would be times when it would just take forever when you would open up a tab. They just chugged along, and it was because of the Jaguar cores. But these systems are so snappy. The load times on the Series X and the PS5 are absolutely awesome. Spider-Man, I believe, from boot, it takes like 5 seconds and you're in the game. I died once or twice just messing around, and it boots up almost instantly. And the same with the Series X. I died on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's just, I think, remember in Assassin's Creed, the areas where you just run around forever on the screen? I think that takes like 6 or 7 seconds. Haven't tested that, obviously, with the PS5, but I guarantee it's about the same. So the UI of the PS5, to me, is better. I like the way it's set up better. It just looks like they put a little bit more work into it. It is missing folders, which I think they will add, but it's definitely there. It's definitely responsive, and I love it. The storage is a little it's lacking, guys. I don't know what they were thinking when not giving us a full terabyte, but I'm not going to mess around with doing the external storage with the PS5. I saw that ACG had some issues with that. I'm not even going to attempt to go down that road. So when it comes to the storage, I'm sticking with what I have. And honestly, it doesn't really bother me too much because I'm not one of those guys that has 30 different games installed all at once anyway. So I usually just keep a couple games installed and I delete what I'm not playing. So it's not too big of an issue with me. The biggest thing that impresses me the most when it comes to the PlayStation 5, and I think that it's going to be the biggest game changer when it comes to multi-platform games, because I mentioned earlier that games are going to look a little bit better when it comes to multi-plats on the Series X, but I think what is going to separate the PS5 from the pack is the DualSense controller. Playing 2K21 on there, when your players get tired, it's harder to squeeze the turbo, the right trigger. It becomes more difficult to push down because it's like a force feedback that the controller actually gives to you, making it more difficult. The Astrobot game that comes with the PS5 it's a goofy little kid's little game, but all it is technically is to show off the DualSense. And you're about ready to see the footage right here. It is so awesome. It shows you what the DualSense can do. I mean, I'm terrible at it, but when you're pulling back the bow, you feel the resistance on the right trigger like you are pulling back a bow. It's absolutely awesome. When you're running through the grass, you feel the grass. There's a part where it's real windy and you're walking along a tightrope, and the way that the haptic feedback kicks in, you can feel the wind in the controller. It is definitely that has to be the most innovative controller ever made, and I'm just keeping it 100% realistic with you guys. It is absolutely awesome, which gets me to my point about the multiplats. I'm reading that different guns on COD are going to feel different. I've read the same thing about Fortnite on the PS5, that the different guns, your SMGs, your assault rifles, your sniper rifles, they feel different because of the DualSense. I'm reading that when your gun jams on COD, that it's harder, you can't squeeze the trigger. You get that haptic feedback. So it's going to be super interesting to see what Sony can do with this feature, with this controller in the future. But right now, this first initial impressions, I'm absolutely blown away by both systems. But I think the PS5, for me anyway, is taking the edge when it comes to the next gen feel. Not to taking away anything from the Series X, because it's awesome. I love it. But yeah, it finally feels good to have consoles that aren't pieces of trash. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm off in the comment section. I'm out.